In 2000, the Folkestone Lions called a public meeting because of the various issues they'd heard people talking about. And they held this meeting at the Leascliffe Hall. 800 people turned up. From that meeting, they called another meeting for Go Folkestone to come into fruition. And they set up several committees. People joined Go Folkestone at that point. They paid their subscription and joined. And from there, the newsletter started to come into being. And all it was like a double page. From then, there were so many issues that the magazine evolved. That's where we are today, with the 32-page magazine.
Where do your stories come from?
The Go Folkestone members sit in a group and we decide what are the issues of the time. And we make a list. Others, we ask the community if they've got any issues and they can write in. And we'll take those issues up and we'll ask other people to write an article on something that's an issue in the town, or if there's a new shop opening or something like that, that would create interest and show that Folkestone is beginning to move forward, which a lot of people don't think it is, but there's such a huge amount going on out there that people don't know about because it's not all written about. And we have recently had our pages increased in our magazine because of all the issues and things that are going on in the town. So there's a lot of good stuff going on, but people don't always get to know about it.
So am I right in that all the articles in the magazine are basically written by and for people who live right here in the town?
Yes, it's a Go Folkestone magazine. But sometimes you'll get the peripheral areas coming in because they are connected to us. But in the main, it's a Folkestone magazine.
So what drove you to create this magazine? Why did you think there was a need? We've got several local papers covering the area, several radio stations here in Kent. Why did you need to do a magazine with Go Folkestone?
Well, we didn't have a Folkestone radio station, did we? And so you don't always want to go to a wider radio station, but local newspapers don't always print your letters. And because there was so much going on in Folkestone, people had so many issues, we thought we'd create a newsletter. It all started with a newsletter, really, and that just progressed and developed into the magazine that we have today.
What articles that you've done in the past have received the most comment and discussion?
I think the seafront development, because people are very interested in the town moving forward, and because it's taken so long because of the present climate we're in, it has taken a long time, and nobody is more frustrated than the people that want to move it forward. It is very frustrating. That, I think, is one of the biggest issues, moving the town forward.
Is this something that you're personally very passionate about then?
I am. I'm a Folkestonian. And I've always been interested in what's been happening in the town. I've seen this town grow from 3 small sections into one huge section. And even Hawkinge now is developing at a great pace, isn't it? And it won't be long before we're all joined up. So it's moving very quickly, but not quickly enough for some. But the Creative Foundation, for example, I mean, look what a wonderful job they've done that. But people still don't think it's moving quickly enough. But these things take time. Those buildings down the High Street and Tontine Street, they would never have lasted another 100 years. But they will now.
In terms of producing the magazine, this is something that you obviously care about a lot and put a lot of work into it. What does it take for someone like yourself within the community to actually create, publish and get printed a magazine like this? Does it take up your whole life?
Not quite. Does take a lot of time though, because you're constantly chasing. You've got deadlines to meet like any newspaper, and things start coming in a bit late, so you always got that tiny little bit of flexibility there. But we always produce it on time, and the people that print it for us are very good because they know even if they get it late, I'm going to say to them, can you get it through, you know? But we like to get as many articles in as we can. We don't want to sort of fill it with peripheral stuff just to complete the magazine. That is why we sort of really push that deadline.
Is the magazine read by people all over Folkestone, or does it tend to be like particular, if you like, pockets of the community that read it?
It goes into libraries, it goes into shops, it goes into... Sometimes I drop them off at the town council, and sometimes they think that's a little bit political, probably sometimes, but we don't mean to be. It's just an issue that people are concerned with, you know. And yeah, it goes in all over the place, and of course our members get it delivered through the post. They're the first ones to get it, obviously, because they're supporting it, and it filters out all over the town.
Where do you see the future of it? Do you think one day you'll be on the shelves of W.H. Smith and other newsagents in Folkestone?
Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But I think it's a historical document, really, and I think the public library ought to keep some copies, although they are delivered to the public libraries, but I do think they ought to keep the back issues and keep the fresh issues, because it is a historical document of what happened in Folkestone.